Freeholder Tonelli.
Here.
Freeholder Voss.
Here.
Chairwoman Zer.
Here. Evidence of a quorum is present. Can everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please read the minutes to be accepted?
January 18th, 2017, work session, Freeholder Tonelli absent. January 25th, 2017, work session, Freeholder Tonelli absent. January 25th, 2017, public session, all present. February 1st, 2017, work session, all present.
May I have a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Unanimously, the minutes are approved. We note for the record that Freeholder Gans is also present. May I now have a motion to open the meeting to the public?
So moved. Second.
Freeholder Gans, did you wish to vote on the minutes, by the way? Thank you. All in favor of the motion to open the meeting to the public, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion to open to the public is unanimously approved. We are now going to have a hearing of the general public with a 3-minute time limit in effect in accordance with the Bergen County Freeholders bylaws. The board attorney will keep the time, and when the time of the speaker expires, the timekeeper will announce that the time has expired. Please, if you have not done so already, fill out a slip of paper with your name, address, and the general topic on which you wish to speak. Salvatore Moretti.
197 Alpine Drive, Paramus, Salvatore Moretti. I have noted that I'm here to speak with regard to the GRC complaint reconsideration. I note that Freeholder Voss had directed a letter with regard to the prosecutor's office, which is noted in my papers. I have developed a series of papers and attachments and have sent those by regular mail to the proper parties in this matter. I also note that I have a PIX video, which is accessed and directed to the attention of the freeholders, as well as various newspaper reports, judicial decisions, letters to parties which were in Hackensack and in various legislative, judicial, or executive positions. I have already delivered this to the prosecutor's office today. I have already mailed it to the recipients required, and this is the Bergen County Freeholder Board copy, which I direct to your attention at this moment. If there are any questions, I can stay here for a moment.
Thank you, Mr. Moretti. We'll review it.
Thank you.
Paul Nichols?
Good evening, Paul Nichols. I have a couple quick issues, and one of them probably not county, but for the record, I'm getting a lot of, I'm sure you possibly hearing a lot about this new bail reform thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm totally for rehabilitation, not incarceration, but not when it's someone with these violent crimes 7, 8 times. I don't know what, I'm sure, are you guys advocating to the higher ups, whoever is next level of government? I don't know. To the state, is that who's doing this? It's a New Jersey bail reform? Okay. The other thing is the old Honor Roll Wellness Center, which is now Bergen County Wellness Center and Community Outreach. I'm very, very happy that that's going. The pictures came out great. And it's, I mean, with the fee-for-service cutbacks and everything, having it come back and revived and doing new things is really a blessing. So I'm really pleased with that. The last thing, I'm gonna give John a copy of the new resource guide, new freeholders. What I do is I print out, I created an HRG resource guide for homeless, low income, anybody in need really. So what it has is food pantries, everything I went through when I was homeless. So it makes the system a lot easier to navigate. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Thank you.
for everything. Joe Gautier?
Hello, nice to see everyone. Congratulations to all of our new freeholders. Congratulations, freeholder Amoroso. Congratulations, freeholder Ortiz. And congratulations to freeholder Sullivan for winning again and not having to run again this year. And you know, most people.
I really appreciate that.
So most people don't even know what a freeholder does, but as we all know, it's a tremendous responsibility to fund the programs that so many residents in Bergen County count on and need so desperately. It's not only the residents who need you, it's also the employees of Bergen County. Because in the past, just as our governor has failed to fund the state's full portion of the pension funds, this freeholder board has never shirked its responsibility to do so and always gave its fair share into the pension fund. So I thank you for that. So congratulations again, and nice seeing everyone. Have a nice
Thank you,
night.
Joe. Thank you for everything. Chuck Powers?
Powers, we're talking, because I think there's no actual hearing for the resolutions 7717 and 77.
There actually is.
Oh, there is? Oh, for a resolution? Thought there was only for an ordinance. Okay, maybe I'll come back. But what I wanted to say, and maybe I can get it done in 3 minutes, is that what you saw this afternoon, what it was that you are going to see again tonight, I'm really sorry that you folks haven't gotten your system so this could go out on the internet right now, because what you're doing here, Chairwoman, is a really important increment on what it is that can involve the public. And what they're going to see is that the reason, I guess, that you folks have decided to take the tax from 1/4 one up to full cent is because you are now prepared to take on projects with the sophistication of this one. I spent a good bit of my time in the last 20 years understanding how waterways and riparian zones actually function, and particularly when they are contaminated. And what you are about ready to engage in the Teaneck Creek Conservancy area, both sides and going at it more holistically that way, you would never have been able to do in the absence of that kind of funding, I'm guessing. Plus, the ability to say to the state, we're ready to take on the rest of it. It's an extraordinary piece of work. I commend you for it. I'm just sorry that the public can't see more of it, and good luck with it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Powers. Is there anyone else from the public that wishes to be heard? May I now have a motion to close the meeting to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The meeting is closed to the public. As advertised, the Division of Open Space will be making a presentation this evening as a part of the public hearing during tonight's meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders. The purpose of which I'm going to let the Division of Open Public Space Director Adam Strobel explain when the floor is yielded to him. But at this time, I have a motion to briefly recess for the time period that the open space public hearing is in effect, and after which we are going to return to the freeholder agenda.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The meeting is now recessed, and the floor is yielded to Open Space Director Adam Strobel, who's going to make a presentation regarding the grant applications. Adam?
Good evening. Thank you very much for this time. As the Freeholder Chair had indicated, we're conducting a public hearing on 2 grant applications. It's a requirement of our grant applications to the State Green Acres program. So what I have tonight is an overview of the projects that we're seeking funding for. I'm here this evening with colleagues, a representative from State of New Jersey, Rutgers University, Dr. Beth Rabbit, as well as a representative from Biohabitats, Terry Doss, who will make a presentation tonight. As we talk about this is a park improvement grants for 2 areas of Overpack County Park, Area 1 and Area 2. These grants will help us develop a habitat restoration, wetlands restoration, and also provide a new avenue for public access to Area 2, 75 acres just across the street from Area 1 for the first time. So this is an opportunity to obtain grant funding from the state of New Jersey to advance our goals, which have been in place for a number of years. So with that, I'm going to ask Terry Doss to come up and make a presentation. She has a short PowerPoint presentation. I also have a board on the side that shows 2 areas as well as the improvements proposed conceptually for Area 2 for site access.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Terry Doss with Biohabitats and have been working with Adam Sherwell and Beth Rabbit on the Overpeck County Park Areas 1 and 2 habitat restoration. The focus of this project is to enhance the existing wetlands and stream and riparian corridor, as well as expand it to the extent practicable, while also creating safer pathways for the public, improving the pathways and bringing them out of the riparian zone, as well as creating better habitat for native species, and in the long run, creating cleaner water that then flows out into Teaneck Creek. The history of this park restoration has been ongoing for quite some time. Teaneck Creek Conservancy was formed in 2001 and has been working with the county since then. In 2006, they created a number of new trails and the outdoor classroom. In 2008, Rutgers University developed a wetland restoration plan concept that we've been working from since then. And in 2010, the site remediation plan was approved of for Area 1. The team members, as I mentioned, include the Bergen County Department of Parks and the Division of Open Space, Rutgers University, and Teaneck Creek Conservancy as well. The basis for the habitat restoration design starts back with the history of the site. When we're looking at a site to try to develop our ecological restoration plans, we like to get a sense of the place, the ecological story that the site wants to tell us. So this map shows, it's from the late 1800s, and it shows that basically the areas 1 and 2 of the park were both, not just Teaneck Creek flew through it, but a very large wetland area and riparian zone. This is an aerial shot from around 1960, and you can see that the creek is started to be moved from its historic flow, as well as a new trolley line was put through the site and changed the hydrology and the character of the vegetation that was out there. As the area became more developed, so did the park, and the flow pathways of Teaneck Creek and the tributaries that drain into the creek all changed. And the habitat itself kept changing. At the same time, there were plans for a landfill in the park, and portions of the park were filled with clay material. The typical soil in the site is more of an organic soil, and some sections of it are very sandy, especially those related to Teaneck Creek. These shots are current shots of Teaneck Creek Park and include Dragonfly Pond to the top right-hand side, which is where a lot of the site drainage flows to. And you can see most periods, right at this time, the pond is very dry. To the bottom right-hand corner is Stormwater Canyon. It's located right off of Teaneck Road and captures a lot of the stormwater from the surrounding area, and then flows through the park directly to Teaneck Creek
And I'm not sure if you can see it from this photo, but there's a lot of erosion around Stormwater Canyon, hence the nickname that it's been given. There's a number of bridges that go over the drainage areas in the park, and a number of trails that you can see in the upper left-hand side. While there's been a lot of degradation to the park over time, there's still a number of great resources. Bergen County Audubon Society uses it as their base, and there's a number of other features. There's the outdoor schoolyard, and the gardening areas that are used by the Teaneck Creek Conservancy. So building on Rutgers' plan for the site, which they developed, they started by breaking down the site into 4 zones to get a better sense of what's happening within those areas. In Zone A, which is in the northern section of the park, there's the highest quality, least disturbed area, and there's a high quality forested wetland there, and one of the high quality forested wetland. One of the challenges we see in that area is that there's a lot of invasive species. When you get into Zone B, it's basically dominated by the invasive plant species, Phragmites australis. Down in Zone C, there's a little bit more natural forested wetland habitat, but there's still a lot of stands of Phragmites australis and a number of other invasive plant species. Section C flows along the section of Teaneck Creek where there's a berm, so there are some plans to reconnect that area with the creek. And then in Zone D, the idea is to preserve the woodland that's there and try to recreate some of the wetland habitat. Based on Rutgers' design, we then created a few additional design principles that really are focused on slowing the water, spreading the water, and recreating the wetlands and riparian habitat that were once there. The way we do this is using sand seepage features. The sand would be formed into berms that then the water needs to flow through, and it flows very slowly. And a lot of the excess nutrients that come in with the stormwater get caught up into the sand seepage berm. We also look at, as I mentioned, to enhance existing Teaneck Creek connections, and enhance the open water and wetland areas, particularly the area around Dragonfly Pond, so that most of the stormwater flow coming into the site would then flow through to Dragonfly Pond and then very slowly out towards Teaneck Creek. These new flow patterns and removing the high nutrient clay material and soil materials and replacing with sand material would then create conditions that are better suited for native plant habitat. And the last few features are creating microtopographic features, which basically are just mounds and pooled areas that create more diversity within the site and slow the flow down, and then looking to improve the trails, as I mentioned, by taking them out of the riparian zone. So the design principle basically is slow it down and spread it out. This is a schematic of what the design plan looks like for Area 1, and it shows where the different berms would be, some of the debris piles that are still to be removed, and how water will flow through the site, eventually out into Teaneck Creek Park. This is a typical of what Stormwater Canyon looks like. This is not Stormwater Canyon, but we wanted to show one of the sites that we've worked on previously, and it shows the erosion that occurs when you have a lot of stormwater flow going through a site. And using natural materials, we bring that canyon back up into the riparian zone to recreate the flow so that water then has a much more natural flow, and the site's held, and you see less erosion, less sediment flowing into the creek, and allows the water to be cleaner once it does get to the creek. Within Area 2, which is found just south of Area 1 across DeGraw Avenue, there are a number of plans that are being developed, and they include increasing the parking area and creating new trails through the site. Some of those trails can be seen on the board that Adam had pointed out, and improving the habitat in ways similar to what we proposed for Area 1. There'll also be a new bridge to cross over from the parking area to the trail area over Teaneck Creek. We've also been working with, as I mentioned, Teaneck Creek Conservancy, as well as the EcoArt folks to come up with some artistic design features that allow for more education and public interaction. And some of these are features that we've used on other sites that try to bring both the idea of ecological restoration as well as water flow to the public in ways that are readily understandable so that they can understand their impact on the land as well. Last, to finish up, just wanted to point out that Rutgers University has all of the past reports on this website that they've developed, and it's very easily accessible by the public and easy to flow through and has all the contact information needed. And thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. My one last point is to indicate Green Acres provides grants for recreation and conservation. This clearly is a passive conservation type of effort. It's quite unique. Even though the emphasis is looking at the natural features and providing those opportunities for stormwater and wetlands restoration, it is actually for the benefit of the public as well, because creating these features creates an opportunity for the public to come and experience them even greater as they do now. The park is open. There's a trail, as Terry indicated, that is open. The Conservancy brings a lot of people into the park for different activities. Eco Art is one main feature of the park area as well. But the benefit is, at the end of the day, birders will continue to come here, photographers will continue to come here, people who want to be in a contemplative place will come here. So the whole host of opportunity for new people to come and experience. This also will serve as an incubator of an idea where you could potentially do this elsewhere within the county park system. Dealing with stormwater is a challenge, but it can be done with the natural features instead of hard features. So that's another benefit that we see coming out of this project, as being a demonstration and really being a leader to others throughout the county and throughout the state, as Terry talked about, the sand seepage approach, which I think is something that will be emulated elsewhere. So that's our presentation, or we will be obviously asking you to ask for any public comments, and we'll be able to answer any questions that are posed. If not, we'll do our best to answer questions offline as well, providing an opportunity for the general public.
Thank you so much. As Director Strobel just said, it's now time to hear from the public. The Green Acres public hearing is now open with a 5-minute time limit for individuals to speak about tonight's Green Acres grant applications only. The board attorney will keep to the time, and when the time of the speaker expires, the timekeeper will announce that the time has expired. You wish to speak, Mr. Bowers?
I wasn't with you 2 weeks ago, as you know, Chairman, because I wanted to hear the master plan and its public layout. Let me tell you, I'm enormously impressed with what Rutgers is doing, both drawing public views into it and also then beginning to provide some of the intellectual and strategic background to enable this county to take the kind of steps that it looks as if you're about ready to do. There is something extraordinary about what is actually happening in Teaneck Creek that didn't fully come out, and I want to sort of relate that. And so I think it's going to be important to hear the acceptance by Green Acres. Teaneck Creek Conservancy, working with the Puffin Foundation and others in that area, have actually already created a level of public access and interest among people in Teaneck, but from all over the county, in this extraordinarily interesting phenomenon of trying to figure out what you do to deal with the creek, which could potentially be really polluted and adding additional problems to Overpeck Park, but is now, as you see, becoming in and of itself a really important resource available to the public, but also providing a mechanism by which the Hackensack in that part can continue to be a better place. This is stuff, as I said, I spent an enormous amount of time with. Having the Puffin, without the Puffin Foundation, Teaneck Creek Conservancy as a park would never have achieved much of what it's now achieving. That idea of, I'm very dubious that all forms of public-private partnerships can be as creative as that can be. If you find ways of doing it as you're doing here, it's enormously exciting. and as Adam Schultz has said, innovative in a way that can be a leader, not only in this county, but elsewhere. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Perry. You summed it up wonderfully. Are there any other members of the public who wish to be heard? Seeing none, may I take a motion to resume our agenda at this point in time? Second? All in favor? All opposed? No.
No, because it was for the recess.
Will the clerk please read the resolutions that are on the consent agenda?
Resolution 7617, and then 7818 through 130, I'm sorry, 7717 to 13017.
Have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Freeholder Amoroso.
Yes.
Freeholder Dan.
Aye.
Freeholder Ortiz.
Yes.
Freeholder Sullivan.
Yes.
Freeholder Tinelli.
Yes.
Freeholder Voss.
Yes.
Chairwoman Zerk.
Yes. Are there any resolutions of non-consent pulled or table, and if so, will the clerk please read? Please read.
We have two, number 7717, a resolution authorizing to submit a 2017 New Jersey Green Acres grant application for Overpeck County Park Improvement Project, Teaneck Acres Park Development Grant.
Make a motion. Second.
Okay, is there any wishes to be heard regarding 7717? We have a roll call, please. Oh, David, I'm sorry.
I wish to disclose that I represented this board proudly the year before I became a freeholder in the litigation concerning Overpeck. I'm going to recuse myself from the board of this on that basis.
On both 77 and 78? So noted. Can I have a roll call, please, regarding 7717?
Freeholder Amoroso.
Yes.
Freeholder Gans has recused himself. Freeholder Ortiz.
Yes.
Freeholder Sullivan.
Yes.
Freeholder Tinelli.
Yes.
Freeholder Voss.
Yes.
Chairwoman Zerk.
Yes.
A vote of 6 ayes and 1 recusal. The next non-consent is 7817, a resolution authorizing to submit a 2017 New Jersey Green Acres grant application for the stormwater canyon restoration at Overpeck County Park, Teaneck Creek Park project.
I'd like to make that motion.
Do you have a second?
Sorry, did I just?
Second.
Okay, may I have a roll call, please?
Freeholder Amoroso.
Yes.
Freeholder Gans is
Aye.
You recuse yourself?
Recused yourself free. Thank you.
Freeholder Ortiz.
Yes.
Freeholder Sullivan.
Yes.
Freeholder Tinelli. Freeholder Voss.
Yes.
Chairwoman Zerk.
Yes.
6 ayes and 1 recusal.
Okay. We're now going to have freeholder committee reports. Freeholder Voss.
Thank you, Chair Lady. Just a few things. Last week, Valley Hospital moved to a new location in Paramus, and many of us were there. It's going to be a win-win situation for everybody involved. It's going to be a state-of-the-art facility. It's going to do, thank you. It's going to do all kinds of wonderful things for Bergen County, for the state of New Jersey. The other day, Tuesday, we had Chinese New Year celebration in this room. This room was filled to capacity with people celebrating the Year of the Rooster. And in doing my little research, I found out that on the Chinese calendar, it is now the year 4715. And so, Happy New Year, everyone. Every year at Bergen Community College, they have, or sometimes twice a year, they have a program called Give Kids a Smile. It's a wonderful program where the technicians and dentists volunteer to help children who might not always be able to financially afford going to the dentist to get a checkup and to have some services. It is in the state-of-the-art building that we now have as a health, what should I say, education portion of Bergen Community. It is absolutely outstanding, and it's one of the things that I really think is exceptionally good, because I always want young people to study for professions that are needed, and this certainly is fulfilling that. For about 4 years now, I've been watching LG, a wonderful company, attempt to establish their headquarters in Englewood Cliffs. It was a long, hard fight, but finally, yesterday, the groundbreaking finally took place. LG is a great company. It's going to be wonderful for the state of New Jersey. It's going to be great for Englewood Cliffs, and I'm so happy that after the really arduous process that they went through, that they persevered, and now LG will be here. February is Women's Heart Health Month, but February is also, now the name is National African American History Month, and you're going to be hearing us talk about a lot of occasions that we're going to be attending during the month of February. And the reason, I'm a history teacher, so I always have to interject little tidbits of information. The reason February was chosen is because February is the birthday of Abraham Lincoln and also the birthday of Frederick Douglass, whose birthday happens to be on Valentine's Day. One of the resolutions that we passed this evening was Resolution 88-17. Let me just show you a poster that you'll be seeing a great deal of. It's called Bergen County Care Fair, which will be held April the 23rd at the Hasbrook Heights Hilton. And I think this is going to be really fantastic because most people, I think someone mentioned tonight, Mr. Gautier, that most people don't know what freeholders do. And that we really care very much about what we can do for the residents of Bergen County. Now, this particular resolution says, we're authorizing various contracts with various vendors to prevent or reduce juvenile delinquency and provide sanctions and services for youths who are involved in the juvenile justice system. This is so important because there are so many, and if people attend this fair on the 23rd of April, you will be amazed at the number of services that we provide here in Bergen County, not only for young people, but for senior citizens, and for just about everybody. But people need to know what these services are. And so if you come to the fair, but let me just say, because I'm very anxious that children are taken very good care of in Bergen County. Hundreds of children will be served by the programs that this resolution authorizes. One of them is Children's Aid Society will have drug and alcohol prevention education programs. There'll be after-school positive youth development programs. There will be adolescent substance abuse treatment therapies. One of the things that I happen to be very involved with is the juvenile fire prevention program. This is so important because many of the young people, when they're acting out, set fires. And having been very much involved with my fire department in my town, I got involved with this particular board, and they're all volunteers, and they really do help a lot of kids stay out of trouble. There are Care Plus gives anger management programs, and there are lots of different programs after school, because so many parents today work that many of the young people need places where they can go and get some positive reinforcement. And so that's my report for today, but don't forget, this particular fair on April the 23rd is something that I wish everybody in Bergen County would make a concerted effort to attend. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Freeholder Ortiz.
So Freeholder Amoroso and I continue our education through the county, and we met with community development with Director Rob Esposito. And this is where we learned a lot about Bergen County community development, how they deliver the funds needed to greenlight projects throughout the towns and agencies. And he also has so many programs under community development, and they're fully funded by HUD on an annual basis. He explained to us the whole American Dream home ownership program and the home improvement program, of which is basically a second mortgage, which is about $40,000 for people that are able to apply for this loan, and they don't have to pay it back until they actually sell the home or they pass the title on. So it's a great program. And also HIP, which is the home improvement, which is, I think it's up to $20,000. in which you can get a loan to do a lot of repairs to your home, either to a single family or multi-family home. He also was going to be part of this Care Fair Sunday, in which also a lot of the Bergen County residents can be aware of all these programs, because it's sad, like for the HIP, they don't even have enough people actually, applying for these programs, and I don't think they're aware of it. So I think you're right, it's very important, because this is, I think, social services, health services, and community development. It's everyone involved, so I really encourage everyone to go. I also attended the employee recognition luncheon and breakfast. This was great. It was the employees recognized for serving the county from 5 to 45 years. And they're the face of our county, and they're important, and we have to remember that we cannot function on a day-to-day basis if it wasn't for our employees. So I commend the county executive and to my colleagues for all the accommodations, and to, remind them how much we appreciate them. It was a very, very nice event. We also got to meet with our director of Ralph Rivera of Director of Communications, and Frank Del Vecchio. No, actually, Director Ralph Rivera and Director of Communications and Frank Del Vecchio. We did a full tour of in Mawa, which actually has the OEM, has the 911 calls, has the police academy, and also has the fire academy, which everybody's training. It's all the training grounds. And it was just amazing. It's a state-of-the-art facility that was just built in the last 3 or 4 years, and they currently cover 911 calls to 22 towns, and they're trying to fold in more towns to consolidate the services and save money to the towns, which is another way of our, to have shared services for our county, and they really should take advantage of it. It's unbelievable, the facility they have in Mawa. And we also got to experience a whole police academy training. It was just a wonderful experience, and I think it's great. I also got to attend the Lizette Parker 9th Annual African American History Month breakfast, and it's keeping her legacy alive. Lizette Parker gave so much to her community. She was so passionate, and I think it's just a wonderful way to remember her. And they honored 3 wonderful women, Reverend Dr. Edna Dismas, Dr. Marilyn Harris, and Reverend Ella Hayes. It's wonderful to hear their stories, everything they've done, and everything they've done for their community. So I think Lizette Parker would be extremely proud of all these women and how they continue to have this breakfast. And to hear her mom and her husband speak, it was really touching. So it was a lovely event, and that's the end of my report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Schinelli.
Thank you, Chairwoman. So tonight we passed 2 resolutions, 77-17 and 78-17. Both those resolutions will be used to improve 2 areas of our parks in Teaneck. What you heard, we had a presentation that told us a lot of what those grants will be covering. More importantly, both projects will be the first time that the county has made application in New Jersey for natural resource protection and enhancements, which could serve as an example to not just the municipalities of Bergen County, but also the state of New Jersey. We all know that we have flooding issues in certain parts of the county and certain parts of the state of New Jersey, and by what we're doing in our parks could be an opportunity for us to learn how we can redirect some of this water. That area is a flood zone, and hopefully after this is actually done with the help of Rutgers and with the help of this grant money, we're able to divert the water, create natural burns, which in my opinion is the only way that we're going to be able to solve a lot of the flooding issues. We've encroached a lot on the waterways. We need to start creating natural burns, not trying to put walls up to try and divert the water. That's just not going to work. So it's a very exciting night that we're starting to see the efforts of this board where we're adding the funding actually come to fruition. And I just wanted to, I know we don't want to repeat ourselves, but I just want to follow up on Freeholder Ortiz. I attended also the breakfast for Lizette Parker, former mayor Lizette Parker, and what was moving to me was I've been there every year that she's had it, and the crowds that she draws, not just of older people, but of the young. Lizette was an advocate for both young men and young women. I'm sure my colleagues will all like to speak to that, but she was a role model to everyone. And when you looked around the room, it was very moving to see the number of people that came out to support her, not only to keep her legacy alive, but to keep the scholarship program alive, because we all know how important the young men and women, especially of Teaneck and Bergen County, were to Lizette. So it's an honor to attend some of the functions that we actually go to. And it was also humbling to see the number of people that actually filled the fiesta on Saturday morning. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fielder Nance.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Still trying to work the technology. Speaking of which, my first part of my report is something that we've all participated in tonight for the first time, and that is the use of the electronic equipment that Willie Talley brought to the board as chairman. It's now fully installed. We've seen it used this evening for part of our presentation. And much more interesting than me is the future that I can foresee this being used. Thank you, Phil Talley, for your vision and for being a driving force and making this happen. This is Black History Month, and there are a number of events that have taken place at various sites throughout the county all through the month. One of the things that I like to do is to take some of the pictures off my wall in my office here for show and tell. Some of the pictures you've seen before, and some of them you'll the picture that I show most frequently is one in which Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is speaking to an editorial audience in Rockville Center in Long Island, New York, which is my hometown, where I grew up and went to high school. And Dr. King addressing the audience. I'm in the picture at the back of the auditorium with Dr. King in the foreground and me in the background. It's kind of exciting to be part of that history. So too is this. Okay, this is somebody named Obama who was campaigning here in Bergen County, and I was honored to be with him at that time. And the one that has always caught my eye, and this one is taken in the 1970s. You see some people trying to say, who is this man? Well, I'll give you a hint. In 1936, he was the world's fastest human. He won 4 gold medals in the 1936 Olympics. In Berlin, is none other than Jesse Owens. What is impressive is how humble a person Jesse Owens was, and how easily he engaged in conversation with any of us who were fortunate enough to meet him. I met most of these people not in an official capacity, but simply as somebody who was attending an event, one of the case of Jesse Owens, consulting on the Indian Olympic coin program from 1976 Olympic Games. I've been a coin collector for most of my life, and it's allowed me to meet many wonderful people in a unique way. Coming up later this month, there will be some read aloud events in news all over the county. Some of them are being sponsored by various church groups. I'm honored to participate with it, with the Mount Olive Baptist Church group.
26th, I attended the employee recognition breakfast and lunch. We had 2 sets for county employees who have served at least 5 years to 45 years. Bergen County, of course, is here to serve its residents in so many ways, and I was delighted to see firsthand the dedication and the good nature of the people who are interfacing with those who come to us for service. It was a really nice thing, morale building. On the 29th, Sunday, I attended the installation of the Simoniello brothers as Eagle Scouts in Mawa. It was a long ceremony, and their mother was stage directing everything. But you know, it's wonderful to see she really was, 2 young men on a path of both excellence and service to their community. On Monday, I went to the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey Senate Legislative Oversight hearing on the Port Authority's capital plan, specifically the Midtown Bus Terminal. The hearing was led by Senators Gordon, Weinberg, and Kane. Bergen County commuters who testified, they said the current state of the Midtown Port Authority terminal is a hellhole. It reeks of diesel fumes. There are garbage cans scattered all over to catch the leaks from the ceiling. But Senator Gordon says the Port Authority is calling for only $3.5 billion. Sounds like a lot of money, but for a new terminal, when the actual cost is something more like $8 billion to $10 billion. And Senator Gordon said the Port Authority's capital plan doesn't have a start or end date for the new terminal, while certain rail projects appear to be fast-tracked. On Wednesday, as Freeholder Ortiz said, we met with Community Development Director Rob Esposito on our continuing grand tour of Bergen County services. And again, I think one big takeaway from our meeting is that community development is looking to expand its home improvement program, which offers help for low to moderate income homeowners who need to get their roofs fixed and their siding, windows, doors, etc. So the Director Esposito said they are really going to market that pretty hard. On Thursday, February 2nd, I attended the Lunar New Year celebration and listened to Freeholder Voss's lovely speech. And later that night, I missed this, but 150 EMTs graduated, and we all commend their service on the front line protecting Bergen County citizens' health. Saturday, I went to the Lizette Parker breakfast, which honored one wonderful woman, but also marked all of us, our commitment, our renewed commitment to keep pushing for racial, social, economic, and gender justice. Monday, Freeholder Ortiz and I continued our grand tour at the Public Safety Operations Center, which is this, Jermaine said it was like a trading floor, you know, this huge space with all of these big boards, video boards, and the dispatchers and the 911 receivers taking calls. And they said they also do a thing, they can get 911 via text, and they're hooked into the whole state. So this sounds like a TV show. They have done a 911 text of an abduction victim who was being transported through New Jersey, and then another one of a domestic abuse victim whose son was hiding in the closet and texting 911. It was really quite fascinating. And yesterday, I attended the monthly Bergen Board of Social Services meeting. I just also want to take a quick moment, I know I'm holding you up for to talk about Resolution 8917, which we voted on tonight. And it's important to highlight this because it authorizes payment to 10 nonprofits through the Department of Human Services in the amount of $276,000. It will provide essential services to elderly disabled victims of abuse In total, this resolution will assist over 3,000 people with things like medical adult daycare, counseling services, case management, and custody evaluations. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Domestic violence, the YWCA of Bergen County Healing Space, which provides service to 65 residents affected by sexual victimization, crisis care, counseling, and a 24/7 hotline support. Also, the Center for Hope and Safety, we are providing matching funds for protective services and bilingual counseling services for 500 victims of domestic violence and their kids. And also the Bergen Family Center, 138 comprehensive diagnostic evaluations for Bergen County Superior Court Family Court hearings and custody evaluations, including psychological evaluation. We are trying to take care of our citizens' mental health needs and needs in times of stress and crisis. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Freeholder Sullivan.
I told Mary I'm not going. Good evening. I understand that by the time this airs, the storm will be over, but I did want to let everyone know that Bergen County is prepared for the storm. Our county executive put out a press release today to let everyone know what's going on. Beginning at midnight tonight, Bergen County Public Works personnel will coordinate the county snow removal and deploy necessary county equipment and resources to be ready for the storm. As the storm is expected to be its heaviest during the morning, all the county residents are encouraged to stay off the roads if possible. Now, I know this is going to be after the fact, but for the next future snowstorm, this is very, very handy. During the winter storm, traveling can be dangerous, not only for individual drivers, but also for those working to keep the roads clear and safe. So residents should plan on staying home if possible. And the county executive at 4 a.m., believe it or not, will be reporting to the operations center of the county annex in Paramus to oversee the county storm response. He could call me on the phone. I'll be ready for that as a DPW commissioner. But if there's a problem, then he can come get me. So I don't foresee any problem.
I hope.
I pray for no problem.
Yeah.
Also, this is Black History Month. There was supposed to be an event scheduled for tomorrow. That event will be rescheduled for Thursday, February the 16th, in a public meeting room. So if anyone can join us, that would be fantastic. Hopefully, if I'm able to, I do have another meeting. I'm supposed to be giving the closing remarks at that. I'm going to do my best to make that event, which I hope everyone else does. Also, along with everybody here, we all attended the Rosette Park with breakfast. It's just a matter of remembering that our job is not done. We need to continue to be advocates, we need to continue to be leaders. Rosette and I have spoken at numerous events as labor leaders together, and her dedication went well above and beyond. Her mom is actually the president of her local, so obviously it runs in her family there. I want to thank Joe Gaudier, who's the president of USUW Local 755, for inviting me to their gala. It's a great time. Joe did a wonderful job. It's great to see the employees out there having a great time, getting together. And he also presented Bob Gordon with an award. My colleague, Chairwoman Zor, was there as well. It was just a great time, Joe. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
We appreciate what you do for the county. As we said here before, we understand what makes the county run. It's certainly not just us. It's a partnership, and I want to thank you personally. Okay. I do want to speak to one of the resolutions that was passed tonight. Resolution 12717, awarding a contract to GIS Planning for a web-based GIS system for economic development. We went over this pretty extensively in the work session. Freeholders brought a lot of facts out. It's a great tool for business looking to set up shop here in Bergen County. It's going to allow the county, municipalities, prospective business owners to access some useful information and let them make some informed decisions about where they want to open a business. We want them here in Bergen County. That's why it's going to be a great tool. It includes maps. It also allows searching by square footage needs for sales and leases. You can also see the area's demographics, labor force, educational levels, community, consumer spending information, wage information, a whole list of other things that's very important to our community and to our consumers and to our businesses. As I said before, some mapping tools that show us where you are, for highways, where your accessibility is. And Bergen County has got tremendous accessibility to everywhere. So we're hoping that this tool is going to allow people to check out the county and bring some more businesses to the county. And that concludes my report, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bill. Just to underscore, this 127 does. It's going to make Bergen that much more friendly for business and really provide them an invaluable tool. We heard from Paul regarding the Bergen Wellness Center. I was very thrilled to be at that ribbon cutting with Freeholder Amoroso this week. To be able to provide peer support and to be able to provide that level of care and really engage and being more than just saying we're stigma-free, but actually doing much to reduce stigma in Bergen County. It was actually a wonderful new addition to our landscape. We had this week as well a project search information session. Applications are online now, and they're going to be accepted through March 30th. We had 40 different people who were there looking at possibilities for next year, which is really so gratifying to see the impact that this is having on young adults with disabilities and really increasing their skills so that they can have portable job skills going forward. So if you have an interest, now is the time to discuss this as part of your IEPs and get this product search to be a part of your solution going forward to train your young adults to go forward into the world of work. As Freeholder Ross touched upon, it is Heart Health Month. We were all part of the Heart Health Day photo, but it's especially palpable to me today as I got my cholesterol back, and I'm going to be making more of an effort to make sure in Heart Health Month that we take care of this issue, as 1 in 4 women die of heart disease. We tend to not take care of ourselves. This is something that we all need to be very mindful of, especially in Heart Health Month. I also want to draw attention to the fact up to 8917, which we passed this evening as well. One of the nonprofits that received funding was the ARC, which is going to assist individuals with disabilities to live independently. And I think that that is something that we, as a county, have been so supportive of and trying to make sure, and Freeholder Ross has been so committed, and we've been working so diligently to make sure that we're providing a full scope of services for individuals with disabilities, and that we're looking at not only the work front, but the housing front, as well as the transportation. So these are all key elements on our agendas in the year going forward. We also had Give a Kid a Smile Day this week at Bergen Community College, where we had our students at Bergen Community College in the dental hygiene department working with volunteer dentists to provide free cleanings, free x-rays, and free sealants to our children who are in need of those services, who can't afford to do so otherwise. It was an amazing program, but it's also amazing to see Bergen Community College at the forefront using their state-of-the-art health facility that is now in play. So I know that they're going to be continually committed to providing services and clinics such as this going forward. As Tom mentioned, the storm, not only are we prepared, but we're especially thankful for all the employees. While we'll all be huddled under in our home safe and sound, they'll be out on the front line. So I just want to say a special thank you, and to kind of plagiarize my favorite show as a child in my PD Blue. Let's be careful out there. And on that note, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?